Okay, so what I'm going to show you here is how to install a testing or a local version of WordPress.org, Moodle, and PHPBB. These are the three focuses of our solution in our OER. Now, first of all, a bit of a diagram of what we're doing here. Before we install WordPress, Moodle, or PHPBB, all these things, all these three that can be accessed without the internet. So here is a model of what we're after. So once we have this set up, we can access the WordPress CMS blog, the Moodle LMS, Learning Management System, and the PHPBB message board without a connection to the internet. So I have a very simple diagram. Here's the internet, and there's basically no connection between the internet and this our system here. So that solves one of the problems of administrators or the community having concerns about their students accessing the internet, the debate of which is beyond the scope of this OER. So, but as you can see in this diagram, before we install WordPress, Moodle, or PHPBB, we need to install three things: Apache web server, MySQL database, and the PHP language. So what we're going to do is we're going to go to a site where we can actually install all three things at once for testing purposes. So there's a few different products that I can do that. WinMap is one of them. Okay, MAP, M-A-M-P, is one, and I'm going to use one called WAMP server. The W in WAMP stands for Windows, and then A for Apache, MySQL, and PHP. So when you download it and install it, it basically installs all three at once for you. And it's a very simple way of getting this one here, okay, installed. And once you have this installed, you can install whatever web service that you want underneath it. Again, these are mostly for testing purposes only. So what we're going to do is we're going to download, okay, and I'm going to use a WAMP server 64-bit. All right, this is use a pretty good version of PHP 5.5, I believe. WordPress and Moodle requires PHP 5.1, and you can see a little more details of what version of each of those software that it's going to install. So let's click on this one here. All right. Okay, download directly. Okay, and you can see the download starting here. Okay, so I actually don't need to download it because I already have it. So I'm just going to cancel my download. And in my folder, you can see here that I have my WAMP installed right here. So let's walk through the installation. So I'm going to double click run the file. Okay, here's another different version that's going to install. Okay, next. I accept the licensing agreement. Next. Okay, always a good idea to install it into the default location where it wants to be. Okay. All right, let's create a desktop icon and a quick launch icon. Why not? Okay, and install it. Okay, it's going to take a minute to install. So basically what it's doing now is installing all three services for me, and you notice that it actually installed a few other useful tools that are going to help me as well. One called PHP MyAdmin, which is going to help me to give me a nice graphical user interface to access the settings and stuff that I need. So just give it a minute to finish installing. So without a package like this, you would have to download Apache, MySQL, and PHP and install it separately, and you have to make them talk to each other too. This is just a very quick and easy way to do this all in one go, all in one click. But again, this is mostly for testing purposes. So I am not going to use, I personally like to use Chrome, so I'm going to switch that to go to C, Program Files, x86. Okay, and here's my Google, Chrome, Application, Chrome, Yes. Okay. Localhost, email. Okay, we don't really need any of that stuff. So, okay, next, and finish. Now you notice this little icon down here started red, it turned yellow, and now it's green. Okay, so that means it should be online now. Okay, so if you right-click here, you can see some of the options of what you can do. I'm going to just go restart all services. It goes from red, yellow, and should turn back to green in a minute. There you go. Okay, now to test that it's actually working, just open your browser, and where you want to go is http://localhost. Okay, and when you do, you'll see this, and when you see this running here, this is your server. Okay, and so this is your Apache server, SQL, and PHP all running. So you can see that it took very little time to get it running. Now, what's going to be particularly useful is we're going to use this one down here, PHP admin, when and we're going to go to databases. All right, and we're going to create a few databases when we go to install WordPress, Moodle, and PHP BB. Okay, so more on that on the next video. Thank you.